This video is an introduction to how NoteScribe can be used by students in a research or classroom setting. In the following video tutorial, will demonstrate how you can create, store, organize, and retrieve notes in NoteScribe. In part 2 of the introduction to NoteScribe videos, I will cover other features that can be useful in an academic setting, such as creating sources and bibliographies, adding attachments to notes, and the import and export function, which can be useful for sharing and exchanging information with your peers or research partners. For an example to get you started, let's create a note to show you how you might store information for a research paper about schizophrenia. The first step in creating a note is hitting the Add a Note button. This will pull up the Edit Note window, which is where we're going to input all of our notes, as well as our sources, categories, and keywords. So the first thing we want to do is put notes into the Edit Note window. And I already have some notes saved, so let's copy them in here. And next I want to show you really quick how to work the highlighting function, which is a great tool and something that a lot of students use on paper with a regular highlighting marker. All you have to do is select the highlighting button and then choose your color. Let's go ahead and use yellow, which is pretty default, and then find the text that you wish to highlight. Drag with the left button down your mouse and go over all the text you wish to highlight, and there you have highlighted text. To deactivate it, all you have to do is hit the highlight button again. We also have a spell checker built in, which will tell you when you have anything misspelled. It'll show up in red and be italicized. As you can see, I don't have anything misspelled on this one, and hitting this will disable or enable the spell checker. Next, let's assign categories for this particular note. Categories will help you to retrieve your note later on, so you want to do something specific to the note and relevant to the note. For example, we're creating a research paper information for a paper about schizophrenia. So let's label our level 1 category research papers. By calling it research papers, it'll allow us to use this same level 1 category in case we have to write any other research papers about anything else. But for this one, we are going to use a subcategory of schizophrenia. This will help us to further be able to locate our note later on. So as you can see, we have a small category tree of research papers and then schizophrenia. And I'll show you in just a moment how you can retrieve your notes using these categories. Next, let's create a keyword really quick. Since the notes are about schizophrenia, we're going to use the keyword schizophrenia. And keywords are another way of retrieving your notes, which I'm going to show you how to do here in just a second. Once we have a category and keyword and some notes entered, we can go ahead and hit save. This will take us back out to the main screen, and as you can see, we've created our note and it shows the categories here at the bottom. To retrieve this note, initially all we have to do is double click and it'll take us back in the edit note window. From here we can add more notes, edit these notes, change our categories or keywords. You can pretty much do whatever you want inside the edit note window. So let's go back out to the main page, and now we're going to clear this so I can show you how to retrieve it using the categories and the keywords that we just created for this note. So let's hit the Clear All Notes button, and this does not delete your notes. Your notes are still in your NoteScribe archive. It just takes them off the currently displayed notes list, which is shown here. So if we go over here to the Search Controls bar, this is where we'll find the Categories tab, the Sources tab, and the Keywords tab. Categories, sources, and keywords are how you retrieve your notes. Right now we have a category and a keyword, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to retrieve those notes using categories and keywords. So if we look in our categories tab, you can see that we have quite a few different categories already established, and if you remember correctly, we used the category research papers for the note that we just created. So if we scroll down, which you can see alphabetically, we have all of our categories arranged, and we click on research papers, you can see our subcategory of schizophrenia, which was the note we just created. To open this note, all we have to do is hit the L1 box or the L2 box next to the category names. So let's go ahead and hit the L2 category box, and it'll retrieve the note that we just created. So that's how you retrieve your notes using categories. Next, I want to show you how to retrieve your notes using keywords. If you click on the category or keywords tab, you can see the schizophrenia keyword, and once again all you have to do is click on it, and that'll retrieve your note using the keyword. If you want to save a little bit of time and need to search for something quickly, you can also use the global search function. The global search function is located here in the upper right hand corner, and with the global search function you're able to search for individual words or for terms or for multiple words located within the same note. So what we want to do is search for a word really quick. Let's say we want to find the same note that we just created, and we can type in schizophrenia into the global search function and then hit the search button. And as you can see, NoteScribe will find your note or all of your notes containing the word schizophrenia. For this one, we only had one result because we only have the one note on schizophrenia right now. If you hit OK, you can also see that all the words that we typed into the global search function are highlighted in orange. This will be the case if it shows up multiple times and you have a lot of notes, say on the currently displayed notes list. Then every time schizophrenia is shown, it'll be highlighted in orange. Next, I want to show you how you can search for multiple words within the same note. Say for example, I want to find a note that contains schizophrenia and the symptoms of schizophrenia, so I would want to find a note that contains those two words. To do that, I have schizophrenia already entered. All I need to do is enter "and" in all capital letters, and then symptoms. Doing this search will find any note that contains these two words within it. So let's go ahead and hit search. And as you can see, the same note that we just entered has schizophrenia as well as symptoms. So you can do this with multiple words. You can do it with 2 or 3 words as long as you have "and" capitalized in between the words that you're searching for. It also works for phrases. So if I wanted to search for schizophrenia and say unusual thinking, I could type in schizophrenia and then unusual thinking in quotations. So it's a really convenient feature for searching really quickly and finding things within seconds. And if you can't find something within categories or keywords, you should be able to find it with the global search function. So now that we've wrapped up a few of the basics of NoteScribe, go ahead and continue on to part 2 to learn how to create sources, bibliographies, how to import and export notes, and also how to do attachments for your notes.